Hi, welcome into the chat. We're on Libra. That was kind of strange, wasn't it? The way those cards flew out then. They sort of like flicked out one by one. So we've got the Lovers card, which is the major for Gemini. And it's upright, okay? See, that's soulmate's energy. Now, it's put together. Hi, welcome in. Hi, is it Javan? Must we do this again? Peaceful mind, welcome in. Oh, fantastic, you're Libra. We've got the Three of Swords reversed, okay? That's recovery from heartache. Welcome in, Ruhani and Prashant. We've got the World card, okay? So we've got the completion of a cycle. In the story of the Major Arcana, the Fool realizes that better days are coming, okay? So even though things have been tough, and this doesn't have to have happened recently, it could have happened a while ago, because that shows that you're getting over it. Better days are coming, and I'm not answering personal questions. I'm going through the zodiac signs in case you need to watch the sign of your person, or watch your sign. Better days are coming, guys, okay? Hi, welcome into the chat. Hi, Ipsita. Hi, Andy. Right, we've got the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Now, the Ten of Pentacles upright is lasting generational wealth. It's when you put your income, so that'll be 5 Pentacles, you add it to their income, 5 Pentacles, and you get the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, nice even balance. 10 is an even number. And you have money for your children and money for their children. It's like the ultimate goal, you know, that we're all working towards. So when that's reversed, it's like those pentacles have been lost. And usually for me, when it's the Ten of Pentacles reversed, it's this ending of a serious commitment and a withdrawal or loss of those pentacles. Okay, so you have to split assets, you have to put a deposit on your own place, you have just your income, like a single income household now. So I think that's what's going on. The Five of Swords. Okay, so this is people arguing. This is verbal arguments and disagreements. Okay. You may still be in contact with the person. You may have to be in contact with them. You may not have to be in contact with them. Hi, Unicorn. Welcome in. Hi, Barbara. Right, these are going to be the cards of your person. The Nine of Cups reversed. Okay, they're not happy. The Nine of Cups upright. 9 is when you're single. Cups is emotion. So this is being contented within yourself. When you have the 10 of Cups, it's everyone in the family being happy, everyone in the household being happy. This is about you as an individual being happy when it's the 9 of Cups. See, this person is not happy, okay, because that's reversed. They're not happy within themselves. So I don't know if this is who you're dealing with, who you're manifesting in the future, or who is on your mind and you're no longer dealing with them. The Fool reversed. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so someone is, they're not contented. Okay, they're discontented within themselves. The Fool, when he's upright, is someone that wants to, they want to take a leap of faith. They're ready. Okay, it's a reset at 0. It's like, I'm ready to leap into the start of a new journey, a new chapter, a new relationship, a new adventure, a new venture, like a business venture or something. But when it's reversed, it's like I'm not gonna do this because it would be foolish to do that. If I jump off that ledge, I could fall, I could break my legs. I mean, it could be that energy accentuated in the other direction. It could be like they're overeager, they're completely reckless. But we'll see. Let's see what else comes out. I'm not taking questions. I'm just doing general readings for each of the zodiac signs, okay? Aries up to Virgo were done in the previous readings. If you look at lives and you go to the list, you can find the other signs. The last 6 signs, so Libra up to Pisces, I'm doing in this live because I'm behind already. It's been a hectic week. Okay, so the Empress, when she's upright, is the major arcana for Libra and for Taurus. Okay, it's very heavy earth and air energy. The Empress is the highest status in the tarot deck, along with the Emperor. She is feminine energy. She's all 4 queens. Okay, so she attracts love. She does not chase it. She attracts abundance. She does not chase it. That doesn't mean that she attracts love in terms of she's very caring, very calm. People feel safe around her. She's understanding. She gives good advice. It's a very like nurturing energy. So people are happy to be in the company of the Empress. That's what is attractive. Okay, she's very beautiful. But she's pregnant. She's a natural nurturer. Okay, so if you know any Tauruses, they tend to be a natural nurturer. They're calm. They're Taurus the bull. Okay, they don't like to be high energy. They like to be low and slow. In terms of money, Earth signs and Taurus in particular are grafters. They will work hard, laboriously. They will go back to the same thing over and over again. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. So they're very good in workplaces. So, you know, they work hard, but they're big spenders as well, very material driven. So the Empress is ruled by Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. So we like a beautiful home, we like beautiful clothes, we like, you know, nice things, and we will spoil other people as well. So this is a natural provider, a kind person. When this is reversed, it's It's like you're not showing up in your highest self, okay? So there's a lack of abundance somehow, something's missing. Now we've got the Nine of Cups reversed, there's a lack of contentment. We've got the Fool reversed, which is Wands energy. So that Queen of Wands, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, but the cups here are upside down. Okay, something's wrong with the level of contentment. And then the Fool is like Aries energy, so that's fire, ambition, excitement. Oh my God, away with the religious stuff. I'm not answering questions. Just to be clear, I'm going through the zodiac signs. I'm not answering questions, okay? Right. Yeah, there's probably a lack of enthusiasm and a lack of contentment, feelings and emotions wise. Low energy. Okay, so we have got an Empress on this side, but you're not showing up. Well, you're showing up as the Lovers, recovery from. You look like two separate energies to me. You've had a separation. They just look like they don't want to be single. You know, maybe they're really successful. If you're the Queen of Swords and you're the Queen of Pentacles, you have money. Okay, this person's reached the level of the Empress. So they could be a CEO of their own company. They could be very, very high up in work of an organization, you know, middle or top management. They could have a house, they could have children, but something's really taken the wind out of their sails. Maybe they're not married, and they'd like to be. Maybe they're married and they don't want to be, you know. Something is really not making this person happy, and they don't want to get into another chapter with someone. So they could be actively pushing people away. Let's get 3 cards for the outcome. Yeah, look, oh my God, I'm good. Look, the Queen of Pentacles is reversed. So there's a lack of money. We've got the Nine of Swords is upright. Okay, so we've got anxiety over money. Being able to be a solid provider. There could be more outgoings than what's coming in. We could have been told that we're being made, you know, we're getting reduced hours, or there isn't like going to be an extension of our contract or something like this. Or it could be that, you know, that 10 of Pentacles where we've gone from 2 incomes into 1. So this could be your cards or it could be their cards. It could be yours, to be honest. You could be fighting over assets or income. We've got an Ace of Wands. So we've got major enthusiasm. Look at all this emotion. This is like a seed with all new growth. We've got birds rising up. It's like a phoenix coming up from the ashes. Okay, an ace is what we want. It's our energy, what we've put into something, our effort, met halfway by the universe pushing things along with good luck. Any kind of ace is half you and half the universe pushing things forwards. Okay, encouraging the right conditions for something to take off. Let's get one more. It's fire energy. It seems like together you two would have the right amount of pentacles and the right amount of fiery enthusiasm, motivation. Maybe that's why you're being brought into each other's lives. Or this could be your ex. I don't know. If you've got a Libra ex or a Taurian ex, or an Aries ex, because the Fool is Aries, major arcana, then this might be your person and they're not happy to be separating from you. They're not happy to be single. So we need one more for the outcome. The Three of Wands. Okay, so the Two of Wands is... The Two of Wands is when you need to make a decision. You're at a fork in the road. You don't know which path to take. Okay, which adventure you should choose. The Three of Wands is like, I've chosen. This is the wand that I'm choosing and I'm taking action. I'm going to start walking down that path. It's reverse, so it's like, I know what I want, but I'm not going to start walking down that path. I'm holding myself back for some reason. Now, that's really interesting, isn't it? Because we had on their side the Fool reversed, like unwilling to start walking down the new path. And the Empress reversed, like, not really well, they're not really in their full energy. Okay, they should be the Empress upright, but they're unhappy and demotivated at the moment. So if it's not your ex showing up in this reading, then it could be the new person that's due in. So let's get a timing. This could be someone that you're manifesting because you're recovering from that heartbreak that you were experiencing with a soulmate connection. You are recovering. Release any attachment to timing, okay? But then we've also got November. So that's sort of like end of autumn, early winter. Well, it's not end of autumn, actually. It's bang in the middle of autumn, isn't it? September, October, November. It makes me think of Halloween, like just after Halloween. Could be having some cozy fireside cuddles with someone. Let's see why this person has got the Nine of Cups reversed. Why are they unhappy? Okay, they were dealing with someone who was very unpredictable. You never know what they'll do. They're unreliable. They're a total live wire, you know. You don't know where you stand with them. Distant, so far away physically and emotionally. See if you can rekindle the passion again. Okay, so someone was really off and on with this person. They couldn't understand any kind of pattern of behaviour, and it's just left them really unhappy. So you can understand why they then wouldn't be excited to get into a new situation. You'd be completely put off, wouldn't you? You would not, you know, want that because you just think, well, it's going to bring instability into my life. This Empress, like, that's no good for her. She's a solid provider. You know, she's an earth angel. She is someone that's calm for everyone to be around. She can take the strain. She's motivated. She's the Queen of Wands. She's the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles. She's the ultimate provider, nurturer, motivated, ambitious, you know, great looking. Why the hell would she want to get messed about? So to be in this kind of energy is not cool. Someone's done this Empress wrong. And an Empress can be male or female. It's just that when you're in your feminine energy, you exude that nurturing vibe, that creative vibe, productive vibe. When you're in a masculine energy, you're more kind of cutthroat. You can laser in on, you know, what's best for the greater good. Like, we're not trying to think of every person and how each person is going to be affected. We're just thinking about the greater good, making the cutthroat decisions, and being a bit cooler with people. We're still a nurturer, still lots of things, but we're more domineering, more confident. There's a lot of responsibility, and we're looking at that wider picture all the time. The Empress is concerned about how each person is being affected. It's different. It's a feminine energy, and we've all got masculine and feminine energy, and we take turns being more of one or the other. It's not that it's a man and a woman. It's nothing to do with that. It's nothing to do with gender. Okay. Let's clarify a bit more what went on with this person's person. Avoid burnout. Fiery passion is consuming, sustain a lasting balance. It was very sexual. I mean, this person's going to be very good looking that you're going to meet. And unfortunately, good looking people that are also nice people get taken advantage of. Okay. Whoever they were dealing with just isn't that deep, you know? And they haven't appreciated this Empress at all. They're gonna want someone who's really stable, okay? And being someone stable isn't dull. It doesn't mean that. You can be fantastic looking, you can have loads going for you, come from a lovely family, you know, you can be hyper interesting, uber exciting, but you're not unstable. We don't want an unstable energy for an Empress. That's not gonna work. It ain't gonna fly, okay? Ooh. Destroyed, shattered, broken, completely ruined. That's awful. This poor Empress. My goodness, she needs an emperor. What is going on here? You know, Librans you're really artistic. I've got Libra moon. You're very creative, artistic, social. You're all about fairness, equality, justice. You know, so there's no way that you would have the Empress doing everything. You just want fairness. You're very happy to do your half. You like it when things are balanced, okay? So you are the perfect match for this Empress. Let's get one more clarifying card. Oh dear. I thought we had more time. This has been very brief. This dalliance with whoever it was passionate but brief, and it's left them really distressed. There's something behind your eyes. What are you hiding? Yeah, they just could never quite get to the bottom of who this person was. You know, which sometimes that's half of the charm, isn't it? But it loses its charm quite quickly, that. So something could be happening here around November. Now, this involves your healing, but it involves theirs as well. And it looks like you're a little bit further along in terms of recovery. Okay, so we can't get an exact prediction on timing because we can't rush someone else's healing. Okay, so I think there's divine timing involved here. Let's get you some advice then, Libra. communicate, okay? So always a good idea to communicate. You're an air sign, okay? So you're really good at that. Your sword's energy. Oops, I've just collapsed my cards by leaning on them. Your sword's energy, your air energy. You're all about fairness, communication. Written or spoken, you know, you often know what to say. Also, it depends, like, it depends what your moon sign is, okay? Because that's what you're in combination with. Break from beneath the water's surface and soar up beyond the turquoise sea. Let yourself breathe, okay? Don't get uptight about how to control this. Things left unsaid will never reach the shore, okay? So you've got to make sure that you communicate effectively with this person, because that's how trust is built. It's how we sort things out in a healthy way. That is Spirit's advice. I'm not answering individual questions. I'm going through the signs, okay? Sorry, I was just checking the messages. There's been a few while I've been doing that. Miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge. That's really nice. Nice energy. Inner beauty. I open the eyes of my heart and direct my gaze to the light with every being. Personality and physical appearance are in the image of man. Beauty and goodness are in the image of God. That's so true. Okay, so what we've been talking about is how this person had something very superficial that didn't last, and they need more balance in their life. Okay, so a lot of us could apply that to ourselves. Release. I stop fighting my fears and the hardships of life. I control my thoughts, live in the present moment, and accept each stage of life. I work on what I have power over and put into God's hands what I can't change. I trust that everything will work out for the best. That's really, really nice. Okay. Again, advice for anyone. You know, if there's something you can't control, if how someone else behaves towards you is outside of your control, then you can't hold it and you can't take responsibility for it. It's not your wrongdoing, it's theirs. It's not your injustice, it's theirs. Okay, it's their karma, it's their thing that they're running around doing. You don't need to sort it, you don't need to try to control it or fix it or work through it. You just let that person run off. Because they can't run away from themselves. They're just going to keep doing what they're doing, right, until they evolve and grow. One step at a time. I see the mountain ahead and dedicate myself to taking one small step at a time. I make progress by staying focused on the present moment, the current task. Thus, I regain my ease of living. I think that's lovely, you know. I think that is advice because that person wasn't ready to take a leap of faith, but sometimes we should just, you know, one elderly couple said to me a couple of years ago, just one more, just try one more. The right one will be the next one, you know, and it hasn't gone like that. But, you know, if you take people's hope away from them, if you don't encourage them to try, they're going to stop and then they're just going to be by themselves, you know, and that's not really good advice either. So we can't judge people, you know, and so you pick bad people, that's your problem, or it's your fault that this has happened. They just need to stay optimistic, keep being who they are, and if there's anything to work on it, but otherwise you can't hold yourself responsible for what other people, you know, need to change that they're doing. That's their spiritual homework that they need to work on. It's not yours or this person's. It's someone else's baggage, someone else's wrong, you know, ways. They need to grow and evolve. It's our job to let it go, you know. If we hold grudges, it hurts us more than it hurts the other person. Healing. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. So if you're lying on the beach and the sun's shining, you don't want to kind of forget where you are and be sort of mithered by all your worries. You need to try to find a way to relax, unclench, you know, your jaw, unfurl your fingers, and, you know, just kind of like enjoy every little breeze that you feel on your skin. Submit yourself to the environment, you know. Dig your toes into the sand. If you're somewhere like woodlandy, take your shoes off, enjoy the soil on your feet. Try and reconnect with nature. That's the secret to healing. This is sacred geometry, you know, and there's no beginning, there's no end, and you are part of this pattern. You're not separate to it. You're part of the universe. And human beings, we somehow intellectualize everything, and we somehow get so removed from the fact that we're part of the animal kingdom. We get too much in our head. Everything becomes about likes and electronics, and, you know, we need to get grounded quite frequently. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. Okay, so when we're stressed, it's that fight or flight response. However, it's probably that we're not directly under threat. You know, so sorry for anyone that is under direct threat because they're in a war zone or they're suffering domestic violence on a daily basis. I'm so sorry for anyone who's experiencing that, but most of us aren't. And yet we feel completely plagued with worry, with doubt, with fear. So we have to learn to let that go out of us with the next breath, you know, and truly relax, because it's not good to be tense all of the time. It really isn't good for you. Worry about things a little bit, because that's being aware, but we can't be distressed 24/7, and we shouldn't do that to ourselves, okay? We have to trust that everything is happening the way it's supposed to. The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. I love that. I love that. You're here for a reason, so be confident. Don't allow people to squash you and push you down. You know, we take a lot of criticism in work. We take criticism off partners, off family, and we criticize ourselves. I think too many people are emotionally beating themselves up in this very moment. We all do it, self-deprecating. I hate my body. Why don't I earn more money? Why I don't have a job right now? Why am I with this idiot? You know, why? We need to stop being self-deprecating and we need to be confident of what we bring to the table, that we have unique talents, things about our character that people really appreciate and admire in us. Aspects of our body may not be perfect, no one's perfect, but there's things about us that many people appreciate. Some people might look at us, notice something really nice about us and never say it. You know, I try to compliment people when I have a thought. I try to say it out loud because I'm sure people don't get enough compliments. And the people that don't get them are people that are really, really good looking, because people are too jealous to say, you look really nice. They just think, well, they already know. See, they're often the people that they get treated the worst as well. They get taken for granted, they get treated the worst, people don't want to compliment them. So I try to compliment people who are good looking because I don't think they get told. I think they get a lot of hate. You know how it feels when someone's complimented you on something, you know it feels really nice. Why would you not want to boost someone like that? That's unconditional love. Okay, I'm going to get you a crystal. Venus. Okay, so I'm not sure what the planets mean. I used to work with the planets a lot and I just haven't done it for ages. So you can look up Venus and see what that means. Okay, but you are ruled by Venus. Okay, amethyst. So this is for the crown chakra. Let's find amethyst because that's what Spirit's recommending for you at the moment. There it is. And we've got some right here. Amethyst is a lilac to dark purple semi-precious gemstone from the quartz family. The ancient Romans believed amethyst got its lush purple colour when the god Bacchus spilled wine on a clear stone. Today, amethyst is believed to assist in connecting with the big guy in the sky. Sorry, my eyes are tired at this time. Where to put it, the interior decorator's little purple secret, amethyst could uplift the vibe of any living space. Who needs it? Train wrecks who go off the rails on the wet and wild route to Bacchanalia or any Pisces. Oh my goodness me. When to use it? When it's time to give up the victim routine and start living with purpose. Hold on tight to amethyst. Get drunk on your higher self. I love that. Okay, so if we're in that vibe, what you want to do is some light reading, especially in the sun. I'm going to do some reading this weekend. This is the 4 psychic senses. by Kevin Hunter. It's got all the explanations of all the chakras, okay, and which angels to ask for help. You have to ask them, they're not allowed to interfere, okay? It explains all your spirit team. It's quite a short book, the text is big. It's on Amazon. But I do feel like there's a lot of spiritual homework going to be done, and you might go through an ascension in the next couple of weeks to the next couple of months. So when you read about spirituality, you tend to have spiritual experiences. Like after I read that book on holiday, I literally had like I had visions of purple, very, very bright purple, where my third eye chakra is, and it was as I was closing my eyes, getting ready to go to sleep, and it's not anything I've experienced in 40 years of my life. This was something new, and it was after reading that book. So I just think the more you study, you know, if you haven't studied your faith in a while, if you haven't studied the chakras and your spirit team, if you haven't read anything about it ever, like have a go. Just buy a book and read a little bit about it, okay? The more you understand, the more likely you are to activate something. Okay, that's enough of me going on. I hope you like that reading. I hope it resonates. Please give me a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, and I'll see you in the next one, Libra. Which won't be long, it'll be, you know, this weekend. Because I'm a bit late doing these, but you know. I've been burning myself out. I was really like depleted yesterday. So you gotta cut me some slack. Oh God, have you ever had that happen to you where you lose something you've been working on, like an essay or a presentation? I literally was so stressed last night and today, and I managed to find it like about an hour before I left work, and I was just like, thank God. I mean, I could have remade it, and I was prepared to have to do that, but I just thought, please, no. I was begging, I was praying. Do you know what I mean? And I was like on 1% that I was going to find it. I really was. And I found it. So very, very grateful for that. Right, we're going to go on to Scorpio. Hi Anita, welcome in. Hi Keith. I'm not answering personal questions. You have to watch the sign of your person, or you can watch your sign. I'm not answering personal questions, okay?